Hey, good afternoon everyone, this is Tractorman 44. Today's going to be the virgin voyage of our pork lift. That's a play on words, you know, like forklift, you know, but for pigs, for pork. We're going to check it out and see if it's going to work on beef today. We got a half, they're about 150, 160 pounds, something like that. And we're going to skewer the quarters. We're going to transfer them right into the walk-in cooler and hopefully do this with no sweat, no strain, no pain. I'm getting too over this stuff, you know what I mean? So we're going to try to do it a little bit easier. So let's see what happens. Now come down and go up. Straight up. Okay, dump. Dump. Yeah, you can fuel the tractor. We're going to hang it for a week, week and a half or so. You'll want to probably get some of this fat and stuff out of there. That's good tallow. The birds like eating that tallow, and the squirrels and stuff. We like to get that visceral fat out of the inside, and then we'll hang this open or prop this open with what you call gambrel sticks. Prop that in there like that. That'll allow a good circulation of air in there and allow that to cure all the way through. Now what we'll do is we'll get our they call it oxtail. It's the beef tail. All the old timers like to make what they call oxtail soup out of that. Our heart, a nice fatty heart, split all open, everything's all drained. Got our heart up here. And we'll hang the liver up here. Well, I think we can consider this to be a reasonable success as far as ease of taking those beef quarters from the truck and transferring them inside the cooler. This is the absolutely easiest time that I've had in my entire life. I had my son there actually, running the loader tractor and everything, What we did essentially is we went in at a slight angle, was able to hook the hook into it, raise it up, hook the other end of the hook on the crossbars, and then I was able to allow him to signal like this, which will get him to dump the bucket, which will level out the prong, and then back straight up, which will just undo the skewer right out of the side of beef, letting it hang right on the hooks that we put on the cross pipes. That was what the intention was, and that's the way it worked out. Now let me clarify something. I should not have to apologize for a little bit of blood in a butchering video, even though in my last video that we put up where my much older brother and myself was putting beef quarters in the cooler, I actually got a comment that called us murderers and told us to become vegans. Well, it's to each his own. I refuse to apologize for the way I came up. My brother been butchering from the time we were little bitty kids, and my dad before him, he learned from his own grandfather, which was a chef, a professional chef in the big hotels up in St. Louis back in the 1800s. It's a part of the way we were brought up. It's a part of the American country way of living, and I refuse to apologize for it. We don't go out of our way to make anything excessively bloody. Whenever we dispatch an animal, the animal is dispatched just as quickly, as humanely as humanly possible. There is a little bit of blood in this video, and for those weak-hearted, I'm going to put in the description to don't bother paying attention, because there is some blood on the quarters as we're putting them in the cooler, and some blood as I'm trimming the fat, and stuff out from inside. But it's not a big deal. There's no guts. There's no semblance of a live animal at all. This is just simply the next step in processing beef. It's going to chill out. It's going to cool for a week, week and a half, whatever. We're going to go ahead and cut these up and go ahead and package them, vacuum seal them, and put them in our respective freezers. Now, we've had this cooler a number of years in my brother's lean-to, safely stored inside out of the elements. Over here it's got to live outside for a little while, and because it's got a fiberglass roof on it, or a fiberglass top on it, we didn't want that to deteriorate and begin leaking. So what I did is I built a temporary shelter on top of it. Just used scrap metal. I used a couple of 2x10s. I think I put 6 2x10s, the full length of that 14-foot bed. Went ahead and screwed this metal right down to that tin, so we've got a shelter to protect the top fiberglass. This is an angle iron frame that my brother put in, my much older brother, put through the walls. This thing originally had a unit that mounted there, but it was a self-contained unit that they saved when they salvaged the truck body after the accident. we had to purchase and install the R22 refrigeration system. What happens when the bottom temperature gets set point and we run it at 36 degrees, maybe 37 degrees, what it does, it energizes a pump down solenoid in the liquid line. The pump down solenoid shuts off the refrigerant flow and it pumps it into the condensing unit, and once it gets down to a low pressure, the low pressure switch cuts it out and shuts it off. So there is no actual thermostat like you have in your house. It's a thermostat that controls a solenoid valve that stops the flow of refrigerant. Whenever the box temperature warms up just a little bit beyond set point, I forgot what the dead band is, maybe 2 degrees, something like that. So when it gets to maybe 37 degrees, 38 degrees, then the thermostat will de-energize the solenoid, allow the refrigerant to pass through, the pressure comes back up above the settings of the pressure control, and the refrigeration system starts up and provides cooling again for that next cycle. No defrost required because this is a cooler, a medium temperature cooler. It's not a low temperature situation that requires any defrosting. So we're good to go. It's going to sit here and cure for a while, and we'll be back cutting up meat in no time. So all that having been said, it's Tractor Man 44, and I am out of here.